Yes, so hello everyone, and welcome to yet another video on our channel Cricket Blitz. And so, as you all know, the IPL fever is on. I'm sure that you guys are enjoying the matches, and so are we. And today, we have come up with a topic discussing on two great players. In fact, I should say two icons of, especially in the history of IPL. The two most successful captains, if I talk about MS Dhoni and Rohit Sharma, both winning the cups 5 times. Yes, that has been their dominance so far as IPL turns 18 this year. And today we will be going to talk about that. Exactly what has been their contribution if we especially talk about the last few years. And to do that, I have with me Saptarshi. So hi Saptarshi. So
Yeah,
let's start with Rohit Sharma. MI has not been the franchise we have been used to seeing. Especially if I talk about the last few years. And if I talk about Rohit Sharma, he has definitely been, one of, if not the most successful captain in the history of IPL, having won the trophy in 2013, 15, 17, 19, as well as in 2020. But however, considering the price point that has been assigned to him, a hefty price of 16 crore. Do you see that? His position in the team, especially given the fact that now Hardik is the captain, is justified because recently he hasn't been performing as well as he used to. Especially if I talk about 2022 and 23,
yeah,
his average has been lingering around those 20s, and which definitely is not a great sign. So yes,
yeah. Definitely, it's the price tag of around 16.3 to be precise, which
yeah,
may, I mean, uh, push the questions further up because had he been retained for 2-3 crores, it's okay. But the fact is, see, Rohit, it wasn't like Rohit was performing heavily for MI, even if we look when MI were winning. Yeah, he was good till around 17, 18, but post that it was only in a few seasons that he performed. But mostly he was not that much consistent. And the Rohit we see in Indian jersey and the Rohit we see in the blue and gold jersey for MI is entirely different. There's a stark difference, to be honest. Now the question comes is, till 2020, MI were almost winning alternate years. Then they were the first team to win 5 trophies in the IPL
yeah,
before CSK.
yeah.
And in fact, they were the team who challenged CSK so many times. One of the great, another of those great teams. So they had the different aura, and it all happened under Captain Rohit Sharma. So maybe his captaincy just didn't let his batting stats come up. But since the time he's left the captaincy, or rather, I should say, the captaincy was handed over to Hardik Pandya. The stats are coming up even more. Yeah, last season he had a decent season, I agree. But again, do we see the same kind of impact from Rohit Sharma in Mumbai Indians jersey that we used to see in the Indian jersey? Surely not. And the kind of impact that he is giving in the Mumbai Indians jersey, is it worth 16.3? Had they not retained him, they could have got a far more better player, or maybe two or three different players of different skill sets for that same price value, and it could have been a far more balanced team, to be honest. Yeah, I know there's that concept of brand and those star
Yeah,
worship, all those things. So Rohit is certainly the face of Mumbai Indians, having won 5 titles for them. And there's that fan attachment. We all saw what happened when Hardik was made the captain. So we can imagine what will happen if they drop Rohit all of a sudden. So that's definitely one of the reasons why they can't drop Rohit. But is it really giving them much value, to be honest? We all know Rohit is a very good player, but is he being a bit casual in the IPL? How long will it go on, to be honest? And I think, to be honest, if someone is a true Mumbai Indians fan, he or she also would agree to the fact that this is not the Rohit Sharma we see in the Indian jersey. I mean, if you are playing in an IPL team, you should contribute fully. You should at least try to contribute to your potential. Whatever you can do, you contribute to your potential. But if you're being casual and just take it for granted, should the franchise continue to pay you the amount just because you were a star and you have the backing? Do you keep on taking it granted? But then again, as I said, MI can't even think of dropping him. The kind of reaction they saw last year once they handed over the captaincy reins to Hardik Pandya. But yeah, definitely, this is a question which has been lingering for quite some time, and I thought this is the best time to bring up the question. So
yeah,
now,
yeah, yeah. Exactly. I think you covered all the points, but the only thing that I found that I find really, I mean, that really bothers me is that, I mean, if we talk about his captaincy skills, I mean, definitely no question about that. I mean, we all saw what he did. I mean, if I talk about the international cricket, we have seen his uh, greatness. I mean, when it comes to captaincy, and also in the international arena, it seems he seems to be a bit more focused as compared to IPL. I mean, he has those shots, but the moment he comes to IPL, I mean, it's all of a sudden it seems that he is following a casual approach. He's not so dedicated to his batting. So something has been going on for the past few years, surely. Okay,
Yeah,
so that was about Rohit, and now let's come to his counterpart in the yellow jersey. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys guessed it. So you're talking about MSD
yeah, another
Thala
of
for a
those guys who
reason.
has won
Yeah,
5 trophies in the
yeah,
IPL, and probably the two guys only who have won 5 trophies. So, I mean, the question with Thala is definitely a bit different, not like something like Rohit. Thala no more plays for India. It's been around, I think,
yeah,
6 years since he last played for India. He last played in the 2019 semi-final, so he's even retired around 5 years. But the thing with Thala is, it's not like the performance. I think if you see, say, performance, whatever he has performed better than Rohit, to be honest. And not to forget his contribution behind the stumps. I mean, his wicket keeping is
exactly,
still
exactly,
sharp enough. We have already seen uh, a couple of instances this year also when he stumped Phil Salt and Surya Kumar Yadav.
exactly.
So he's still got those reflexes going and all those things. But the thing is, if he's playing well, if he can still hit the ball like he used to do a couple of years back or 3, 4 years back, why isn't he coming up the order? I know CSK had the luxury of that uncapped player rule and could just retain him for 4 crores, not like the Rohit case where Mumbai had to retain him for 16.3. But even if they're retaining him for 4 crores, if he's playing as a wicket keeper, and in this era when wicket keepers are definitely entitled to contribute even with the willow in hand, so why isn't he coming up the order? I mean, last a couple of days
Yeah,
back when
yeah,
that RCB match happened, talks emerged that he was not coming up the order. I know 110 around needed of 7. I'm not saying had Dhoni come up, CSK would have surely won. 110 of 7 is difficult even with the Russells and Pollards there. But why at that point do you really think sending in Ashwin ahead of him is contributing anywhere to the team's perspective? Definitely not. Had Dhoni come, he could have tried hitting from the first ball. He had got out in the first ball. No one rebukes him, but he should come up and try. Yeah, last year or maybe the last couple of years, there was a narrative going on that he was sort of suffering from the knee injury and all. Maybe he couldn't
exactly.
run enough. And that's why he was not being able to come up. Also, I think CSK at this point of time just want him to face those overs of pace, but you can't be. Yeah, I know he has his issues against spin, but he's still a good pace hitter, and they want to utilize his potential. But you can't be so much. What can I say? So much limited or so much rigid that I will only face pace because the
Yeah, yeah,
opposition captain will also have that in mind, and they will spend maybe save a couple of overs of the spinners for you, knowing that you don't want to face spin that much. So maybe at some point in time, I'm not asking him to come up at 4 and play a 50 ball innings like he would have played in his prime days. I'm not asking him to do that, but at least don't send someone like Ashwin or some other bowlers just because you don't want to bat. I mean, and if that's the case that he's not at all able to bat for more than 10, 20 balls, then was it worth retaining him? Again, I mean, everyone knows that even that uncapped player rule was brought just to make sure that this guy gets written and not,
yeah,
and
yeah.
also trying to clarify that I myself am a big fan of this guy. But the thing is, I mean, at this age, if he doesn't want to bat more than 10, 20 balls, was it worth retaining him? That's a question. But then again, I mean, CSK knows it the best. They are okay, and that's bringing the brand value. Then we can't say a lot. But yeah, it's just about a discussion, and we thought this was a point worth discussion along with the Rohit one.
Yeah, and I would only like to add a few more points here. I mean, so with MS, the thing is that it's not just about the money because it's way less. I mean, if you compare it with Rohit, I mean, that player rule, that uncapped player rule that accommodated MS Dhoni with such a, I mean, nominal amount, I would say, I mean, considering his standards. But I mean, especially that match against RCB when he came after Ashwin, that has actually led, I mean, a lot of guys, I mean, not just the fans from other franchises, but even CSK fans to question that was it really justified? So is he not confident that he can come up and, I mean, win the game? So I mean, the result actually didn't matter, I would say. I mean, even if he had come before Ashwin and still, I mean, if CSK would have lost, I mean, it would have still made sense. But again, I mean, if you are just keeping yourself limited, because again, the point you mentioned that teams nowadays are getting smarter, and as you can already see from, especially from the last 2 3 years, that the competition has increased steadily, exponentially rather, I should use the word, and the teams are smart enough, and especially with the incoming of that impact player rule, I mean, the teams are smart enough to keep an extra spinner if they know that there is one
Yeah,
guy
actually, the
who
T20
who
game has
struggles
evolved a
against
lot.
spin. Yeah,
And you
yeah.
see the IPL, I mean, this year, quite a few teams are looking competitive. You go back 8, 9 years back, it was mostly the CSKs, the MIs, the KKRs dominating the league. But now
DC is
even
looking really good. DC, yeah.
DC, Punjab, GT, LSG played well against SRH. So quite a few teams are fighting for their, um, for their place.
So yeah, that's the point. I mean, you just can't. I mean, yeah, I understand MS Rohit. These guys, they are. I mean, like the face, if I should use that word, the face of the franchise. But again, I mean, you have to consider the evolving requirements of the format. You will have to, I mean, keep in mind that the opponents are coming up with better and even novel strategies to counter their opposition. And I think there should be some food for thought behind these decisions. And I mean, it's ultimately you have to think from a franchise point of view and not as not from an individual point of view. That's all we wanted to, I mean, highlight through this video. So
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
that's it, Saptarshi. Yeah. Anything you would
Yeah,
like to add? Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's it again. Maybe these would be helping the fan engagements, the brand value perspective, the endorsements from the franchise point of view. But if we look at it from a cricketing point of view, from a cricketing cricket logical point of view,
Yeah.
are these two definitely helping? Maybe not that much as much the franchise would have hoped for, but that's how maybe the franchise system runs. They are happy with these stars playing. They're happy with
Yeah.
whatever they're contributing, and hope these two get to contribute more this season. That's all we can discuss for today, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
So,
think that's it for this video, guys. Thank you. And please let us know your views in the comments. Until then, cheers, and please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
and please keep watching all our videos and shorts. Cheers.
Yeah.